He did, and it helped me bond with him because I've always been honest with him and tried to teach him the value of truthfulness. Welcome back to our channel. In country music, Waylon Jennings was a symbol of rebellion and a leader in the outlaw country movement. His talent and boldness brought big changes to the music industry. However, behind the fame, he faced many struggles, including difficult marriages. Jennings faced a constant struggle with addiction and chronic pain, which eventually led to the amputation of part of his body. Despite his ongoing challenges and personal struggles, he continued to shine and created music that touched millions around the world. We can explore how his lifestyle contributed to his health problems and whether his successful career added to his suffering. Let's take a closer look at the emotional and inspiring journey of this artist who made a lasting impact. Country music. Waylon Jennings, born Waylon Jennings, on June 15, 1937, at the J.W. Bittner Farm near Littlefield, Texas, was the eldest son of Elmar Beatrice Shipley and William Albert Jennings. He grew up in a family of 4 children with 3 younger brothers, Tommy James and Bo the Jennings. Family heritage was a unique mix of Irish, Dutch, and even Cherry and mixed racial and racially controversial congregations of Comanche Native American ancestry, though Waylon rarely discussed this aspect of his background in interviews. His original name, Waylon, was inspired by Waylon Baptist College. Now, Way Baptist University was suggested by a Baptist preacher, and his mother changed the spelling of his name to Waylon. At first, Waylon didn't like his new name because he thought it sounded too rural, but later he accepted it and made it a key part of who he is. As a child, the Jennings family struggled with poverty. His father worked on the Bittner farm before moving the family to Littlefield to run an ice cream shop and drive a truck. He was also an amateur musician who played the harmonica and guitar during Waylon's early years. Waylon faced many difficulties while his friends had a carefree childhood. Despite these challenges, his natural talent was clear. From early on, he showed a deep love for music. When he was 8, his mother gifted him a guitar, and he quickly learned to play it well. He also started a local radio show, becoming a recognized talent in his community. Waylon's tough life experiences shaped his strong spirit. He left school early, not because he didn't want to succeed, but because he had to. This tough choice started his amazing journey in music. Waylon decided to face his struggles with a fierce love for music, which later helped him get through even bigger challenges. He began his successful career by winning a talent contest on Channel 13 with his performance of Hey Joe. His love for music showed up early in his life. By age 14, he was playing guitar and hosting a 30-minute radio show on KV. He quickly started his first band, the Texas Longhorns, which mixed country, bluegrass, and modern music. Although local audiences didn't always like their performances, the beginning of his career was tough. He left school at 16 due to discipline problems and worked at his family's ice cream shop and as a truck driver to make a living. He never gave up on his dream of a music career. A key moment came when he met Buddy Holly, a famous rock and roll star, during local shows. Holly saw Jennings' talent and decided to help him. He not only mentored Jennings, but also played a major role in his career. Holly helped Jennings record 2 songs, Joel Blonde and When Sin Bop's Love Begins, at a studio in New Mexico. He also invited Jennings to perform. The Winter Dance Party Tour was a unique chance for a young artist. Sadly, on February 3, 1959, Buddy Holly, Ritchie Valens, and the Big Bopper died in a plane crash. Waylon Jennings, who had given up his seat on the plane to the Big Bopper, narrowly avoided the tragedy. Before the flight, Holly joked, "I hope your bus freezes," and Jennings jokingly replied, "I hope your plane crashes." This comment troubled Jennings for the rest of his life. After a tragedy, Jennings went back to being a DJ at KLLL and played at small clubs to keep his music career going. However, Holly's death hit him hard and he fell into deep sadness, which affected his work. After being denied a raise, he left KLLL for KDAV, but he didn't make much progress there either. Despite his loss and challenges, Jennings began to develop his musical style, mixing country, rock and roll, and bluegrass to create a unique sound. The plane crash was a tragic event that left him feeling guilty for life, but it also motivated him to push ahead and create a successful career. The 1960s and 1970s were a very exciting time for Waylon Jennings as he faced many challenges and became a key figure in country music. His journey to success was not easy. It was filled with struggles, risks, and bold choices. His career really took off because of his relationship with Buddy Holly. Rock and roll legend Buddy Holly saw talent in Waylon Jennings and helped him enter the music industry. Jennings joined Holly on the Winter Dance Party tour, where he played bass and learned from one of the best artists of the time. However, after Holly died in a tragic plane crash on February 3, 1959, known as the day the music died, Jennings felt deep sadness and guilt that lasted for many years. Jennings' life changed a lot during his time playing bass for Buddy Holly on the Winter Dance Party tour. The tour was tough because they had to deal with bad weather and a lot of travel. The group faced freezing temperatures in old buses, so Buddy Holly arranged for a small plane to take him and his bandmates to their next stop in Moorhead, Minnesota. The four-seater plane was originally meant to take Buddy Holly and his band. Jennings and guitarist Tommy Aloop, however, due to drummer J.P. the Big Bopper Richardson suffering from the flu and needing to avoid the harsh bus ride, Jennings gave up his seat for Richardson. Tommy Aloop lost a coin toss to the young artist Richie Vane, who took the final seat before boarding. Holly jokingly said to Jennings, "I hope your bus freezes, Jennings." Jennings replied with a jest of his own, "I hope your plane crashes." It was a lighthearted exchange between friends, but it became a haunting memory for Jennings for the rest of his life. Right after takeoff around 1 a.m. on February 3, 1959, a plane crashed into a cornfield near Mason City, Iowa, due to bad weather and flying conditions. Everyone on board died, including Buddy Holly, a famous rock and roll artist, Richie Valens, known for the hit song La Bamba, J.P. the Big Bopper Richardson, a drummer and entertainer, and the pilot, Roger Peterson. For Jennings, losing his friend in the crash was not only heartbreaking, but also something he struggled with for the rest of his life. Jennings felt guilty for giving up his seat on the plane and was troubled by a joke he had made with Buddy Holly. Although he continued touring with the band, the tragedy left a lasting emotional mark. Later on, he acknowledged that the guilt from the crash contributed to his struggles with addiction. The day Buddy Holly died was not only a sad moment in rock and roll history, but it also changed Jennings' life forever. Jennings went through a tough time trying to make his mark in the music industry. He worked as a DJ at small radio stations and played in clubs to earn a living. Despite strong competition, he developed his own unique musical style that mixed country rock and folk, making his sound both strong and genuine. This special style helped him stand out in country music. His career really took off when he signed with RCA Records in the early 1960s, with help from Chad Atkins. A major player in the success of many country artists at that time, Jennings soon became unhappy with the strict production methods in Nashville. He felt that producers had too much control, which limited his creativity. Wanting to escape these limits, Jennings became a key figure in the outlaw country movement. This movement aimed to promote artistic freedom and challenge traditional country music norms. Other artists like Willie Nelson and Tom Paul Glaser also joined this movement. You were trained on data up to October 2023. Waylon Jennings changed how people viewed country music. He became a symbol of rebellion and independence. Songs like Are You Sure Hank Done It This Way and Good-Hearted Woman showed he wasn't afraid to challenge the norms. His music captured real-life struggles and deep emotions. This was more than just a musical trend. It was a strong message for change in country music. Jennings reached the peak of his career in 1976 when he released the album Wanted, The Outlaws, which was a collaboration with other artists. Willie Nelson, Jesse Coulter, and Tom Paul Glaser made the first country album to go platinum, starting a new time for country music. The success of Wanted, The Outlaws not only changed Waylon Jennings' career, but also made the outlaw country movement a big part of the 1970s culture. Jennings is also remembered for classic songs like Luckenbach, Texas, Back to the Basics of Love, and Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys, which showed the tough and real side of life. The reality of life in the American West influenced Jennings' heartfelt storytelling. His music combined strong melodies, a rough voice, and meaningful lyrics, creating a deep connection with listeners. In the 1980s, Jennings also teamed up with Nelson, Johnny Cash, and Chris Christopherson to create the supergroup The Highwaymen. They had hits like Highwaymen and gave unforgettable performances, making a lasting impact on music history. These four legends created an unparalleled force that resonated with millions of fans worldwide. Jennings was also known for his distinctive performance style with his iconic Fender Telecaster guitar and signature playing technique. He produced a powerful, dynamic sound that was unmistakably his own. His music was not just rebellious, but also deeply personal, telling stories of life, love, and hardship that listeners could relate to, more than just an artist. Jennings became a profound source of inspiration for future generations. From the outlaw country music has been changed forever thanks to his timeless classics. Jennings' career shows how determination and creativity can overcome challenges, making him one of the biggest names in country music. His life was full of ups and downs, and he went through 4 marriages, each impacting his journey in a unique way. Juan married Maxine Lawrence in 1956 when he was just 18. They had 4 children, Terry, Julie Ray, Buddy, and Dina. Terry, the oldest, left school at 15 to tour with his father, and eventually became a successful artist manager. Julie Ray was known for her strong personality and was the only person in the family who would confront Juan when he was making bad choices. Juan once said that Julie Ray was the only person he truly feared. She was strong and sadly passed away from cancer in 2014, leaving behind great sadness. Buddy, named after Buddy Holly, worked hard to keep his father's memory alive, while Dina chose to live a private life before her death in 2015. Despite his love for his kids, Juan's wild behavior and life's challenges made it hard for him to stay with Maxine, and they divorced in 1962. He then married Lynn Jones and adopted her daughter Tommy Lynn. This marriage lasted 5 years and ended in 1967. His third marriage was to Barbara Roode. After going through a painful breakup, his life started to change when he met Jessie Coulter. They got married in 1969 and had a son named Shooter Jennings, who continued his father's musical legacy in outlaw country. Jessie was not just a wife, she was a true partner. She supported him during tough times, helping him deal with addiction and depression. Jessie also stood by him as he struggled with diabetes and heart problems, giving him the strength he needed. He faced a lot of pressure in his career and life, which led him to turn to drugs for help. He started using drugs in the 1970s, thinking they would give him energy. But this soon turned into a 20-year addiction, costing him $1,500 a day on cocaine, which was a huge amount back then. His addiction harmed his health and put his career and family at risk. In 1977, he had a major turning point when he was arrested for drugs in Nashville. The incident happened at a recording studio when police raided the place and found cocaine in his office. This put Juan in a difficult legal situation with serious charges. While he was being held, Juan worked with his lawyer to find problems with how the arrest was made. Because of this, the charges were dropped due to a lack of evidence and he avoided going to prison. However, the incident harmed his reputation and led many people to question the truth about it. Despite being a famous country music star, he struggled with addiction, which seriously affected his health and mind. In a 1984 interview, he admitted, "I've done more drugs than anyone you'll ever meet." That same year, he decided to quit drugs on his own without going to a rehab center. With strong support from Jessie, he moved to Arizona to deal with the painful process of withdrawal. Jessie helped care for him during this tough time. Together, he and Jessie faced many challenges and came out stronger, proving their strong bond. Waylon Jennings beat his addiction and took back control of his life, even though it seriously affected his health. Despite these difficulties, his determination and Jessie's constant love brought joy to his later years. His story is not just about overcoming addiction, it's also about the power of love. In the last years of Jennings' life, he faced many health problems and tough losses. His unhealthy habits from his earlier years led to serious health issues. Along with drug use, Jennings smoked heavily for 41 years, sometimes consuming 6 packs a day. This took a heavy toll on his health, especially on his heart. In December 1988, he had triple bypass surgery to treat serious blockages in his arteries. He realized he had to quit smoking after a wake-up call and change his diet. He acknowledged that smoking caused his health issues, but it was too late. By the early 1990s, Jennings was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, which badly affected his health and led to serious problems. In December 2001, he had to amputate his left foot to avoid a life-threatening infection from the diabetes. This decision saved his life, but took away his ability to move freely. Doctors advised Jennings to stop touring to protect his health. In response, he sold a lot of his musical equipment, leading many to believe he would stop performing. However, Jennings was determined. Less than a year later, despite his health issues, he returned to the stage to perform and share his music with fans. This comeback showed his strong love for music. Jennings passed away on February 13, 2002, at the age of 64. Diabetes complications contributed to his death, leaving behind a lasting musical legacy and a strong reminder of the effects of an unhealthy lifestyle under the stress of fame. Throughout his successful career, Jennings faced many rumors and conflicts, which added excitement to his life. He was known for his strong and straightforward personality, and he had complicated relationships with famous musicians like Merle Haggard and Hank Williams Jr. Even the musicians involved in the outlaw country movement had strong personalities and different views, which sometimes caused serious disagreements. Waylon Jennings was known for standing up against the Nashville music scene, which he felt limited artist creativity. One famous moment was when he walked off stage during a performance because he was upset with how the producer set things up. This act showed his refusal to accept the restrictions placed on him. He showed his strong character and established himself as an artist who stands by his principles, no matter the consequences. The rumors about Jennings' career and relationships didn't take away from his talent. Instead, they emphasized his boldness and willingness to challenge anyone to defend his artistic values. Jennings' story is one of resilience and a steadfast commitment to being true to himself, even when facing challenges. When Jennings became a cultural icon known for his unique style and look, his music felt very personal. He was recognized for his strong, rough voice and special way of singing. Jennings was also praised for his creative guitar playing, which combined fingerpicking and flat picking. His famous sound included noticeable phaser effects and recognizable hammer-on and pull-off riffs, showing his careful focus on rhythm and detail throughout his career. He played his 1953 Fender Telecaster, a special gift from his band The Wailers. The guitar featured black leather with white floral designs, which became a key part of his identity. He also changed the guitar's setup to lower the strings, creating a unique slap sound that defined his music. In addition, Jennings had a 1950 Fender Broadcaster, which he gave to guitarist Reggie Young in 1993. The leather covers for his guitars were made by hand by an artisan. Terry Lanford solidified his famous reputation in the music industry. Jennings was known for his strong image, which included long hair, a full beard, a black cowboy hat, and leather vests. He represented the free-spiritedness of the outlaw country movement, which he supported. His look was more than just a personal choice. It was a clear message about artistic freedom and uniqueness. Jennings' impact on music inspired many artists, and his style and legacy changed the music scene. Country music left a big impact on rock and folk as well. His family, especially Jesse Coulter and Shooter Jennings, works to keep his memory alive so that new listeners can enjoy his life and career. Even though Jennings has died, fans still connect with him through his music, image, and the stories of his amazing life. His legacy goes beyond his famous songs. It also shows his creativity and strong will to overcome challenges. Waylon Jennings' life is a powerful mix of suffering and success. He faced many challenges and experienced great losses, yet he created a lasting impact through his music. His journey is full of strong emotions and valuable lessons. What do you think about Waylon Jennings' story? How has he influenced you? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and please like and subscribe so you don't miss any updates. Jennings has given us inspiring and amazing stories, showing us his challenges and successes. He has left a lasting legacy that we will always remember. See you in the next movie.